Alright my dear friends, in this project we will learn about how we can display the values of potentiometer connected to the Arduino in Python. First, let's acquainted with the potentiometer. A potentiometer is a resistor that is used in electronic circuits and whose value can be changed. It has 3 legs and is very simple to use with Arduino board. We can easily read the value of the potentiometer by performing analog reading and print it out on the serial monitor. In this project, we will read the data read by Arduino in Python by using the same methods in project 2. Of course, we will make some changes. The materials we will use in this project: one piece of Arduino Uno, one piece of 10 kilo ohm potentiometer, 3 pieces of male jumper cables, and last, 1 piece of breadboard. Alright, let's examine and interpret our Python codes now. When we examined our Python codes, we added the serial module, so here for serial communication, and the time module for response time to our Python file, and you see here. Of course, we called our serial class and assigned it to the object named Arduino123 so that we could read or send data from the Arduino. So here is our Arduino123 object. Again, we will perform this operation in the loop. We state that this cycle should be repeated 10 times. The I variable we created is for this, so here. Of course, the codes we wrote in project 3 are slightly different. Let's explain this now. First, let's examine the data variable. So here, if we want to read the serial port data from Arduino, as you know, we use the readline method. However, this method returns data in bytes. For this reason, we use the character conversion function to edit the value we read, and because we only want to display the existing value. In other words, while the type it will give us in normal case is bytes, it will be string after type conversion. Of course, I don't want you to get confused here. We are shown the data again, but when we create the data type of this data with the type function, there is a type difference. And when we convert it as a string, we can perform operations here as well as special operations that we can do on data of string type. So here. Likewise, we made use of the structure that we can use in string type data in our variable named res. So here. Next, we observe that we have created a variable named res. This is because, as you know, the outputs from project 2, we got the output, for example, reading data and colon, put a space, and write here B, single quotes, hello, backslash R, backslash N was like. However, because we want to focus only on the data, so we can only output hello. For this, we have set the special position of the data that we have converted to string type. As you know, now the data variable is string. Using our structure, so let's learn about it now. String variable and open and close square bracket. And if you want to display specified index of the string variable, first we should define starting index value. For example, this is our starting index and it will be the integer index, and then we need to put a colon and we need to define the last index, and the last index will be integer but not including. For example, let's write here and index. We can only display data between the specified start and end indexes. While the value of the starting index is included, the final index value is not included. That is, when we create a string like, for example, 2 to 5, It means store the data between including the second index and not including the fifth index. We set the initial index to 2 while viewing the data of our data variable. The reason is we don't want to display the letter B and question marks. We set the final index as you see here. We create integer conversion function, and in the conversion function we called len function. And you see here the len function returns the total number of elements of the string. We calculate the total number of elements with len and subtract the 5. The reason is that the last 5 elements are like this. So these are backslash r backslash n, and also we have one single quote. When we subtract 5, the data in the last index will not be displayed, so we don't want to display this. Of course, since the index values are of integer type, we converted the operation we did into an integer with the integer function. As we continued to review our codes, we used our output function and output our res variable. Finally, we added a half-second reaction time depending on the reaction time in Arduino and increased the I variable one by one, since the loop will repeat 10 times. Now that we know about our Python code, let's examine and interpret our circuit diagram.